Hi, and welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And yes, we're going to do, well, it's a new season, 22-23. This is one of my History Boy features, slight variation on what we were doing last year on the History Boys. I'm going to have a look at the 7th of August, but obviously as we prepare to play West Ham United away on the 7th of August in our match day one of the 22-23 season, I'll go back to the 7th of August 2004 and a game against, yes, Lazio. There you go. Nothing to do with the English Premier League, that's for sure, even though we were in the Premier League in 2004. It's not too bad, is it? 18 years ago as I'm recording this. So we welcomed Italian giants. So, all right, okay, they were top six anyway, weren't they? Lazio to Eastlands, I think we called it then, if I can cast my mind back. The City of Manchester Stadium, I think officially called, wasn't it? But of course, this was a week before it would all kick off properly for the visit of Fulham, of course, who were our first visitors that season. So please join me. Have a quick look back at this Lazio game and any memories. You've probably got memories yourselves if you went to this game. Lovely weather. It's fantastic weather, I remember. That's for sure. We'll talk about that in a minute. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button. If you enjoy what you see, pass the word. That'd be great. And if you already subscribed, if you can keep spreading the word for me, it'd be much, much appreciated. And give us a thumbs up, guys. Give us a like. It's makes an old City fan very happy. Yes, we don't normally have competitive games. If you could call this Lazio game competitive, probably wasn't. It wasn't really, was it? If you went and watched it, but yeah, it was an interesting curtain raiser to the season. And of course, this year with the 7th of August start, it's a very early start. Look at my diary at games, and you're very few in and around early August, of course. But we've got this Pigging World Cup this year, haven't we? So that's why we've had to start the season perhaps a little bit earlier than we normally would do. But it's always nice. It's always nice to go to football in just your shirt, isn't it? Or obviously you carry a little bit of weight. You don't mind having a jacket on these days. I certainly don't. But it's always nice to go in shirt sleeves. I say there's not even many cricket matches at Old Trafford where they have the ability to do that. If you're a regular follower of cricket in the summer, but it's always nice to go to the City ground, whether it's the Etihad, Main Road, Eastlands, whatever, in your shirt sleeves. And we usually, sometimes, perhaps, 2 or 3 games a season, perhaps if we're lucky in May, obviously, if we're lucky in August usually, but obviously the 7th of August this year, I have no idea what the weather's going to be like, but it'd be nice to go in just a shirt, won't it? Well, there you go. Although I must admit, I do feel a little bit sorry for the players. I hated playing in warm weather when I played football. That's why I used to like cricket. I used to play cricket in the summer and football in the winter. That's how it used to be when I was a kid and growing up. But of course, I'll have to get used to this temperature, this Qatar nonsense. Anyway, I'll get off. Forget Qatar. Forget the World Cup. We're not mentioning about that. Right, it's the time. Let's go back. August the 7th, 2004. Yeah, we'll be growing used to it. We're growing to that strange spiky thing, of course, that Be the Bang that was near the ground, wasn't it? And this, in fact, it was still months away from being unveiled, but obviously it was being constructed. I can't remember specifically at the time. So it was like a few months away from that being officially unveiled. I think it was January of the following year, and it would only be a further 4 or 5 years down the line when it was being dismantled. So there you go. It was a hot, sunny day, and what was the crowd? Well, 23,132 of us could be asked turning up for this game, in all fairness. It did look a little bit emptier than that when you look back at the match pictures, etc. Lazio themselves. I always quite like Lazio because they played in sky blue, of course. And I think back to when Mr. Gazza played for them, but having watched his documentary on Gazza, he sort of pleased himself from what I could see when he wanted to play for them or not. And he turned up half the time. He turned up pissed to play for them. But I always sort of liked Lazio because they have the similar kit. They have the sky blue with the sort of, I think they had a similar kit to this that we were playing at the time, of course, with the Thomas Cook logo on it, wasn't it, with the shirt? But so I always sort of liked Lazio, and especially going back to that Channel 4 programme that used to be on the Italian League. But in all fairness, I had no idea. I didn't have a lot of knowledge of European teams in 2004. I have a little bit better now because we actually play some on a regular basis. But at that stage, I didn't have a lot of knowledge of teams in Europe, and certainly the sixth place team in Italy. Lazio weren't going to inspire me because just wasn't something. I might have known a little bit about Juventus, Juve, and stuff like that, but certainly not Lazio. And possibly the squad that came, the squad will be on the image will be on the screen now of the two squads, but possibly of that squad. I think I'd heard of Dino Baggio. He rings a bell for some reason, but there's probably been two or three players called Baggio. I might be getting them mixed up. And there's a bloke called Dabo as well. Here you go. That might be something to do. I thought that was something to do with Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Quark, wasn't it, with Quark's Club? But sorry, non-Star Trek fans, you probably don't what the hell's he on about? What's he blabbering on about? But if you are a fan of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you'll know what Dabo is. But obviously, he was obviously a player for Lazio and not a character in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Of course, with Reebok, these tops, so you see the Reebok. The only problem with this is that if I lift it, the letters fell off. The outline of the letters there, Thomas Cook. But well, it's happened since this one. It's not just these shirts, the brother shirts. I've got some brother shirts in the back with the kids' shirts as well, where all the letters are coming off because they're sort of like plastic, weren't they? So they never really stayed on. But of course, Thomas Cook were our main shirt sponsors. Say Lazio was sponsored by Indesit. Yeah, Indesit, who used to have a washing machine, I think, an Indesit washing machine back in the day of theirs. But yeah, so I'm not too sure. I've not looked up whether they're an Italian company. I assume they are Indesit. I just used to the name. The programme that day, the MCFC official match day programme, that's what it was called. Issue 1 of this season. It cost just £1.50. Well, it wasn't bad because the normal price was £2.50, but normally it was 76 pages. So this one was 36 pages. So yes, price per page, we were paying a little bit more. So you can't have everything. And that lovable, cheeky chappie, of course, Joey Barton, donned the front cover. For this inaugural Thomas Cook Trophy match. There you are, the first one. Yes, a chance to win a trophy. And the match was sponsored by John Smith's Have It. A small image of Lazio's Roberto Muzzi, M-U-Z-Z-I or double Z-I, I'm British, also featured. And as I said, they finished a respectable 6th in Serie A the season before. And Keegan, of course, Kevin Keegan was starting his last few months in charge of us at that stage. He admitted in his column in the magazine, in the programme, we had no money. Simple as that. We had to bring in some players, of course we did. So we had to bring some players in on the cheap, or let's say cheap players. That's one thing. At this stage in the season, we brought in Danny Mills, Ben Thatcher, bloody hell, and keeper Geert de Vega. Remember him? You probably don't, because it didn't really matter, because he actually suffered an Achilles injury in a friendly against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So he was actually operated. I think he'd just been operated on when this game went on. And he would be out for 6 months at least. So I don't think we ever saw him. I've not had a chance to look up if he did, but I don't ever remember seeing him. But obviously, if you're at Wolves that day, you probably saw it happen. So, of course, there was no challenge to our number one, was there? Who was our number one? Well, of course, it was David James. But when I say there was no challenge, I mean the challenge of a round spherical ball flying at him was probably a challenge enough for David James. But that was it. It was a bit short on competition. And Keegan did hope to bring in more players. And so with this influx of top-class players, of course, we did lose some. We lost Tiato, of course. He'd gone. Gerard Vikings had gone. Stephen Elliott, yeah, if you ask who Stephen Elliott was, some of you might remember him. He was actually our Young Player of the Year for the season before, 2003-2004. Apparently, Kevin Keegan had told him that he was on the brink, on the very edge, on the very cusp of playing for the first team, but that wasn't good enough for me. He sodded off to the Stadium of Light and Sunderland. So there you go. Perhaps Kevin wasn't very convincing. Arnie Harrison, the Icelandic legend, had gone. Remember him? Not a little bit, not much. And Matheus Vuoso, who had gone to Mexico as well. He must have missed the tackles. But Matheus Vuoso, I don't remember much about him either. He'd gone off to Mexico. And there's moves in the backroom staff as well. Arthur Cox had retired. Jim Webb took over from Rob Harris as physio. Stuart Pearce had become the joint first-team coach. And Tim Flowers had replaced Peter Bonetti. Peter Bonetti, rest in peace, Peter. But I never forgave him for that 1970 World Cup defeat in Mexico. I never liked him. He was nicknamed the Cat because he gave his defence kittens. That was Peter Bonetti, but so I was a bit glad he'd gone at the time. City ladies, they weren't the team when they are now, of course. They'd just beaten United 4-2 in a pre-season derby friendly, so no change there. But they were playing them in what was the FA. They were playing the trade, the ladies, in the FA Premier Northern Division at the time. Other pre-season results, yeah, we had no trip to the USA and stuff like that in these days. On the 21st of July, my ex's and my wedding anniversaries, we drew 0-0 at Bury. Did you go to that one at Gig Lane? At least we got to see the Wright Phillips brothers. Yeah, didn't often see them on the same pitch, but they were both played in that game. And apparently, I didn't go to this one, but the City fans apparently outnumbered the Bury fans until they saw sense in this 0-0 thriller and realised the pubs had been open for a while and all sodded off, I think, well before the end. 24th of July, we drew 1-1 at Doncaster at the Earth Stadium. I thought it read Durf Stadium, in fairness, but no, it was the Earth Stadium. And Shawnee, and he was actually our player of the year. To say, we mentioned the lad who was young player of the year. Shawnee was our actual player of the year for last season. He got an equaliser in this one at Doncaster. 28th of July, we stuffed Hull 4-0, yeah, at the Kingston Stadium, and not in Jamaica, in Hull. David James kept a clean sheet in that one. City scorers, Shawnee again was on the score sheet. Bosvelt, Fowler, and Rayner all chipped in with goals. 30th of July, Wolves 1, City 3. Yeah, we've already mentioned the poor Belgian keeper who got his Achilles injury. But again, Shawnee again. I wonder what happens to Shawnee. We'll find out. We would find out anyway. One chop and an own goal were the other two goals for City in a 3-1 win. 2nd of August, we beat Reading. Yeah, we went to Reading. God, it's not a bad pre-season, this. We usually do pretty awful, don't we? 2nd of August, we beat Reading 4-1. Goals from Mack and Sibierski and a brace from Rayner, or best known as Claire to his mates. Some of you might know what I'm on about. Some will think, Bernard, you're cracking up, mate. Distan was to remain captain, which is good. Great. I thought Distan was a great captain. I thought I liked Distan. That was the time, 2003, 4, 5. Distan, yeah, it's one of my sort of, before the companies come around and people like that. He was one of my little heroes. So, yes, the Lazio game, that's what we're talking about. And, yes, a trophy. Well, a glass plate anyway. It's probably microwavable, so that was one advantage. It was just like there'll be a picture up appearing as well for that. But, yes, and we actually won it. So, yes, we did win it. So that was in the cabinet for City. It was probably quite an empty cabinet at Eastlands at the time. And the City team that won that trophy for us that day, a lot of subs, but the initial starting 11 was James, Thatcher, Distan, Dunn, Sean Wright, Phillips, Sibierski, Rayner, Bosvelt, Anelka, McManaman and Fowler. Hey, that was frightening everyone to death, that team, wasn't it? Used substitutes was Joey Barton, Flood, One Chop, Jordan, McCarthy, Bischoff, remember Bischoff, and Mackham. And it went pretty easy, really. I mean, we were all used to the tough Italian defences, of course, but we took the lead after just 1 minute, 50 seconds, actually, as we broached the Italian defence. Bosvelt fed Anelka through, who just stayed onside, a great, well-timed run. He beat the offside trap. And I think most of the 23,000 were there that day were still outside, either trying to dodge being hit by a beer the bang spike, or they're still enjoying a beer on the concourse. It was literally 23,000. There's probably about 3,000 in the ground at that stage. Mackin made it 2-0 on 68 minutes with a great curling effort into the far corner from a Sinclair assist. The Italians rallied. Yes, they weren't going to go down without a fight. They got one back with a penalty on 70 minutes. And that's from another DS9 character. Yeah, you guys who like DS9, Odo, Odo, remember Odo? Yeah, so he scored for the Italians. Oh, sorry, no. He was a judge to have fouled this Odo guy in the box. So they scored the penalty to even things. So he scored the pen or he got fouled. I can't remember. He might have done both. I'm not too sure offhand. But I got all giddy when I saw Odo and I thought another DS9 character. And then obviously very shortly after, City made it 3-1 again through a penalty. And Sibierski, he wasn't bad at taking the old penalties after One Chop was fouled in the area. Although we didn't get off to a great start, of course, that season. No surprise there. Little Shawnee would soon put pen to paper by signing a new 4-year deal, so that was all good. Although we knew where that eventually went, don't we? And it did end up an okay season. Yeah, it was okay. Of course, nothing to add to the Thomas Cook Trophy sat alone, or the plate, the sat, or I say it's probably in the microwave being used by that stage. But there's nothing to add to that, to the dusty shelves, of course, in the trophy room. But a top half finish was adequate, if not spectacular, and that was good enough for us at the time. Just to get 40 points and stay up was always good for us, and we still joke about it now, of course. And we would say, of course, that season, goodbye to Kevin Keegan, and we would say hello to Mr. Stuart Pearce for another momentous 1 or 2 or 3 seasons, however long it took. And let's face it, the highlight of this season had to be the fact we got to see David James play at number 9. Remember that? There you go, I do. What more could we ask? That's little things. Little things please us in those days. Or they didn't please us, but they give us something to hang our hats on and have a laugh about. So there you go, 7th of August 2004. Let me know your memories. Were you there that day? Do you remember much about it? Do you remember having you say it was high 70s, I think, the temperature? So it was a hot day. Certainly not a day for playing football. It's okay for watching it. It's great if you went to Old Trafford, watching the cricket, and you can take your beer back to your seat and doze off watching the cricket. That's what I used to love about going. I've not been for a while, to a couple of years ago, just before COVID, I think. The last time I went to a match at Old Trafford for cricket, but yeah, you can't. It's not the same. Not the same as football, is it? But unless you're playing Brighton away to win the title, and you're at City Square and round the ground, so it's different than having a few pints, isn't it? Anyway, let me know your memories of this 7th of August game 2004. So during the season, I'll be visiting various games on dates where we're playing Premier League games. And if you like this little format I'm doing, just give us a shout, guys. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you do like it. Hopefully, I can try and inform and entertain as the season goes by, and I always throw in the odd history boys, which features a team with playing stuff like that. But I'll keep it interested. I'll try and keep it interesting anyway. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me for this look at the 7th of August 2004. Manchester City 3, Lazio 1. A History Boys feature, of course, for our wonderful club, Manchester City. Anyway, till we meet again, guys, please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.